Hi there YouTube, Music Library here. We left this little trip at Nyngan on Friday, and I've done a little bit of timetable management and figured out that if we were to get to Sydney on a milk run Monday, that means we'll have air traffic control to do some of the more interesting sectors of this journey. So I think the timetable will be from here as follows. We're here in Nyngan. Today we're going to fly down to Narromine and we're going to do a couple of touch and goes and then stop. Get out of the aeroplane, have a look around in avatar mode. Mostly because Narromine is amazing scenery. You can see the link to it below. We're going to explore the airport, see how very good it is. It's quite surprising really because it's a tiny little town out of the middle of nowhere. The main thing that happens at Narromine Airport is gliders, and you'll see a few gliders when we get there. They'll be parked up. The scenery is payware quality. I mean, if OZx or FTX released this, you'd probably pay $20, $25 for it. It's free, so you can download that in the link below. And then we'll head out to Dubbo, which is also free and also extremely very good. Probably won't explore Dubbo as much today, since we've got another flight to do after this in UK. And hello to Jason McClellan. Good evening to you. After that, on like tomorrow, we're going and doing spilled milk run up in Hamilton Island. Sometime through the week, probably Wednesday or Friday, we'll fly all the way down to Bathurst. I see that this has come out incorrectly. Darn it. Got the wrong map. Get the better map. Okay, then this is all the changes I've made. Oh, that's gone to Richmond as well. So my intention was to go from Bathurst up to this airport here, Scone. We're actually going to drop Singleton from the entire trip. I won't be going there at all. And then go to Cessna. Now after Cessna, we'll wait around for a bit, and then on a Monday we're going to go to Richmond, Bankstown, Cessna, Camden, down to Wollongong, do the Victor one. So I'm not sure if that'll be 2 different weeks or try and fit it into a single milk run Monday. But the idea is that we'll leave Cessna on a Monday in 2 weeks' time to do Richmond Air Force Base, Bankstown, and Camden, because those are actually controlled airports, and if we can get ATC from Sydney approach, then that might be good. The other option is to do, on the way back up, do a Victor one up to the Sydney heads, up to, what's that beach up there? One of these waypoints up here, and then drop into the Sydney Harbour Circuit on the Romeo 405. Request entry into controlled airspace, do a couple of circles of Sydney Harbour before we head on up to Warnervale. So that'll be a milk run Monday in 2 weeks' time. But for now, we'll be taking ourselves over from where we were in Nyngan, over here. Flying a VFR down to Narromine, touch and go, and then full stop, get out of the airplane, have a look at Narromine, and then make the tiny, itty bitty, I think it's a 30-mile trip, 18 nautical miles. We'll make an 18 nautical mile hop from Narromine over to Dubbo, where we'll finish the day. Hi there, Toilet Inspector. How are you? I hope you're doing well. With that in mind, we have a Cessna 172 that we parked over there on Friday, so let's go over there and get it. We're going to warp straight through that fence. Hi there, 2 litres of milk. How are you doing? Nice little cabin, that one. Very quaint. Not the kind of thing I was expecting to see at an airport. Go across on the taxiway, there's no one else here. And Manish Zanpura. Once we get to the aeroplane itself, we'll have a little look at the actual flight planning instead of just saying, hi, this is what we're going to do over the next 2 weeks. But that's cool. You can see the tie downs are on. We have the wheel chocks in place. Clearly we also have the control lock in because the controls are set that way. Alright, let's jump in. Exit is open. First thing you need to do is get rid of that control lock. That's done. Then I'm going to go over here and which one do I need? We'll pull off the pilot cover because we don't want to melt the plastic on that. And we'll turn on the master switch. Get those flaps down. Turn on the pilot heat. Flaps are down. And master switch goes off. Cool, walk around time. Pilot probe is warm. Open up the boot. There goes a tie down. Just checking the trims and checking inside here, making sure there's no things that have busted apart or anything. All those bits are moving, all good. Flaps nice and solid. Nothing's detached. Aileron. Yep, they look good. Tie down and the wheel chock. Chuck them in the boot. And do a fuel drain. Before we jump on top of the wing and have a look down. Right, we've got about half a tank of fuel. Yeah, that's about a half. So that is about maybe 2.5 hours of flying time. And our flight today is only going to be an hour of actual engine time. We are going to be stopping at Narromine, but that doesn't really count. Oil looks good in colour and it's about 7 quarts. All of that's fuel. Nothing in there's water. Alrighty, so we have a good propeller and we have nothing inside the vents. Static probe is good. Yep, about half a tank of fuel. And none of that's water. Now, sometimes if you do random stuff the engine, I'm told that this will actually show little particulates in that tank. So that's fun. I've never seen water in there before. I have in a real plane, but not in this plane. That's always fun when you go in there and have a look at the fuel measure, and there's like a distinctive layer, like you got the blue coloured layer, and then settled in the bottom of it is just clear. It's like, uh-oh, let's not fly that. All right, looking at this, we have our vents open, and also the stall warning system. Hello there to Rossi QA. Good to see you. We're going to have a very late night tonight, which is why I've been asleep in bed since about midday today, which has been great. So a good 6.5 hours of sleep, and we're ready to push on, because tonight we're going to have about 3 hours of sleep, which is going to be amazing. Bad. Can't wait. Alrighty, so I'm settled. Make sure I can see out the side. That's always a difficulty. And we'll close the door. Usual method, open the window. Place your arm, essentially your elbow, inside the window, or kind of outside, and like hold the entire door. Grab it and slam. And there you go. That's about where I want to be. Cool. Just going to move myself back a little in the seat. I reckon I can see everything I need to. Alright, flight planning or details. We are coming up out of Nyngan. We're not flying the airway, we're just doing the VFR, but you can see the airway has a lower safe altitude of 2,300 feet. We'll probably track direct to Narromine, which is between the Whiskey 535 airway and the Victor 295 airway. We'll kind of hug towards the Whiskey 535 because the Victor 295 is opposite direction. So if we maintain 2,500 and hang around in there, we'll be alright. Narromine is a glider field. We can see the two pluses. That means that's a winch glide. That means that there are winches on the runways. Now, Narromine's runways are grass. Can't easily see them in that photo. Let's get the other one. There we go, that's easier. Just got three grass runways essentially, an entire gliding area to the north of the runways. There's no weather service down there, so it's just a windsock. But Dubbo, which is only 18 nautical miles away, showing wind at 240 at 12 knots. It's going to be the same. So 22, runway 22 looks to be the best, and 29 is an option. I actually like 29 better because you don't have the gliding issue. Because if you have gliders there, they'll be pulling their gliders up towards runway 22 at the grass area. And they may well be using the winch, which is, can't tell where the winch is, but yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that kind of stuff. So we're going to be running for runway 29. It's a bit more of a crosswind, but it's fine. If we can, vacate onto 22 southbound and then on Charlie Bravo Alpha. Once we do leave there, we'll probably have another chat about Dubbo, but Dubbo will be landing on runway 23, vacating on Alpha, going past the main terminal, and I believe they want us to face southbound. So, yeah, most people come out that way. If you can get on Bravo, we'll go up Delta and then Echo and then come around the back. Is that the way they go? I can't tell. That taxiways on Dubbo are really weird, in my opinion. With that said, we're leaving Nyngan. Again, westerly wind will be running runway 23, so we'll be entering the runway, backtracking the entire length, and getting airborne. Basic Cessna 172 stuff. Ensure that your seatbelts are fastened. Door on each side of the aircraft. If we do need to leave the aeroplane in a hurry, make sure that you make your way to the tail, duck underneath that flap, because if it is deployed as it is now, you will run into it. With that said, what was the altimeter on the system there? Showing altimeter 1019 or 17. 67, there it is. And the altitude shown on this airfield is an elevation of 568. No. There it is. More like that. 1019 is set. Assuming we're all ready to go, we'll get ourselves started. Weight and balance is good. Only 2 on board today. Park and brake is set, control wheel lock is removed. Just looking down here, mixture is fully rich, gonna just crack that throttle a little. Static pressure alternate source is off. Flaps are extended, master switch elevator trim set for the takeoff. And we'll do the engine start. Propeller area is clear. Master switch is off, avionics are off, master coming up. It's going to burst a little bit of that fuel flow into there, into the green. And that's enough. Looking around, no one's around, so we'll make the call. Clear prop. And it is running. Cool. It's pretty warm today, so we'll leave the window open until we need to do a run-up. Switch is in, and the flaps are coming up. Okay, it's Squawking 1200. We're on the ground in a very out of the way area, so I'll just turn that on now. And we're going to Narromine, YNRM, I do believe. Let's double check it. Oh, we have a center if you want it. Don't need it. The controlled airspace out here starts, I think it was 18,000 feet. Let's double check that. Nyngan. Yeah, it's 18,000 feet, and then it becomes 8,000 feet near Narromine. So at Nyngan it's 18. Once we cross that brown dotted line, it does drop down a little. That's alright, we won't be up that high. YNRM is where we're going. There we go, happy with that. $65.9 miles. Just going to lean it out so I can taxi nice and lean. There it is, found it. It's 13 degrees Celsius, so we're going to close that now. Beacon is in, nav is in, and I'll turn on the taxi light. Heat can go off for the moment, and we'll taxi out. DME is on. Doesn't really need to be on, but whatever. Very nice to make a call before we enter the dirt. So look for 1000 RPM, we'll make the call now. 26.7 Nyngan Multicom. And make sure I'm actually on vatsim because I'm not. Sending that out. I forgot to connect YNYN to YSDU via YNRM. And no need to go that high today, it'll be 3,500 or less. File flight plan done. Traffic, Nyngan, Juliet Kilo November, Cessna 172 is taxiing towards runway So runway 23, we'll hold short before we backtrack. Julia Kilo November. Oh, vatsim Australia, I did forget to clock into vatsim, so thanks for the reminder. Okay, the autopilot alerter is set to 3,500, so I can climb up to that if we want to. Right, for the run-up we want to be facing slightly into the wind, which is to the right, and then we'll want to look downwind into the runway before we enter it. So we'll do the run-up about here. Traffic Nyngan, Juliet Kilo November is doing run-ups on the taxiway. Report clear. Okay, for the run-ups, brakes are in. Looking for 1800. That's there. Magneto to the left. Good drop. And Magneto to the right. Also good drop. Hi there, Jack. How are you doing? Right, I'm happy with that. We'll go up to 1000. Lead it out again. Just checking my control surfaces. If you just look at the shadow, you can see yourself split the aileron. Clearly that's easy to see. And over the other side I can't see my own shadow, I don't think, so we'll be good to go now. Traffic Nyngan, Julia Kilo November is saxing into runway 23 backtrack. And with that I'll turn all the lights on, including a strobe. Full motion Cessna 172 sim. That'd be fun. I wouldn't mind one of them. If I was a millionaire, I'd probably have a Airbus A330 sim, a Dash 8 Q400 sim, and either a Cessna or a Piper sim. Let's be honest, I'd rather a Piper sim than a Cessna sim, but whatever. Including the whole setup where you have to walk on the right hand wing to get into the sim. That'd be hilarious. Have a full motion simulator setup with your full wraparound visuals and actual hardware instruments, including non-glass cockpit and the right wing, so I have to step onto the wing to get into the simulator. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, or just buy the entire ANSET training centre down here at Melbourne. That'd be even better. Get the old Airbuses out. Yeah, Dash 8 Q400 sim would be pretty cool. It's a good airplane. I'll probably go with an Airbus A330 for my big aeroplane sim. Temptation is then to fly it as if it was a A320 with a, you know, just a software update. It's like, hi, this is an A330 sim. With a software update, it's now an A320. Haven't landed in Dubbo yet. We will be though. That's where we will end the trip today. We're just departing Nyngan right now. So the stream's only been going a couple of minutes. We've got 60 miles, 65 miles out to Narromine, and then another 18 miles to go to Dubbo. Both of the airports, Narromine and Dubbo, are amazing for freeware. I mean, if you had to purchase them for $15 each, I would. Maybe not Nyngan, but certainly Dubbo. Not necessarily because Nyngan isn't as good quality as Dubbo. It is, possibly even better. It's just that no one goes to Nyngan. There's no point. There's no airline that flies to Nyngan. The only thing that flies in Nyngan is gliders. Anyway, mixture is fully rich. Fuel pump is on. All the lights are in. And we're ready to go. Temps and pressures in the green. Traffic, Nyngan, Julie Kilo November, it's a Cessna 172, departing runway 23 to the east. Julie Kilo November. 737 sim, nah, there's a billion of those things, they're boring. I mean, 737's fun, but it's also really, really small. If you've ever been in a real 737 cockpit, you'll just see that like the cockpit of a Cessna 172 is about the same size. Maybe not quite, but you know, they're tiny. Airbus A320 is easily better to sit in, more comfortable. Anyway, let's go and fly. There's 60. Up to 75 on the climb. There we go. Yep. A330 or 327. I can't, like, you know, decide between the two of them. I'm just moving over to the right so we don't fly directly over the city, the town. So that's why I made a very early right-hand turn, even though we want to turn left. So we're just going to go over the river here instead of over those houses. I'm sure that those people will be quite happy about the fact that I didn't make noise right over their roof. And we'll continue on out. Look, I like Boeing aeroplanes. Certainly the 737 in the simulator is a lot easier to land than probably any other jet aeroplane that I've ever flown. Maybe because I've done it more than anything else, but it's not a comfortable cockpit to sit in. That's my main issue with it. Hi there, old squatter. So yeah, I'm an older type of fellow, a bit larger, so an Airbus A320 with the side stick and the beautifully comfortable seats with no gap in the middle. A little table that drops out, and a lot of room behind you. That's the main difference. The 737, sorry, has almost no room behind the pilot seat, and there's a whole jump seat there that's essentially attached to the back wall. Can't, you know, move that at all. So a lot more room in the Airbus cockpits, and that's the reason I like them both. Now the Emirates 724 saying hello, that's Kynan. Thank you, Kynan. I'm wondering if you're watching. And hi there, Elijah. We are doing the AFV test later tonight. I've downloaded the software, I've checked that it works, so set it up, so hopefully it'll be a nice smooth operation, and we'll get airborne at 11 PM my time, so that's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. Ah, it's Ozspotter. Hi there, Ozspotter. How are you doing flying Emirates 724? Bit of a different experience flying Emirates and flying a Cessna 172 out of country New South Wales. AFV is the advanced voice client thing that the whole new codec for voice server. It'll make voice clarity a lot nicer, a lot more responsive, less lag on the amount of time it takes to communicate to air traffic control. Addis Ababa to Dubai over the desert. You know, probably a 777, I'm assuming. Anyhow, I'm going to level off at 3005. Looks like that didn't show up. Done that before. Sure. Now I'm going to go into autopilot. Altitude set. Power coming off. Maintaining 2400. And we'll go into, shall we go with nav mode or just stay on the heading? Yeah, we can go on the heading, I think. How do you say route discontinuity and Brisbane? I say route disco and Brizzy. Yeah, Flight Simmer's probably got something there. It's not so much that flying in Australia is boring, it's just that you want to fly somewhere else sometimes. I mean, I've purposely put this tour together so that I force myself to actually fly at least one time in Australia every week, at least. Even if it's in a Cessna 172 from tiny airport in the middle of nowhere to another tiny airport in the middle of nowhere. As we are today, right now. Flying from Nyngan to Narromine. 125.0 is Melbourne Centre, we can probably tune that up. 250 cents. There's no real reason to, we might get it actually. Nothing much seems to be happening on centre, so we might even be able to get some stuff there. We'll pick up maybe flight following. And then we'll drop it about 20 miles out of Nyngan, out of Narromine, sorry. Time is 33, we departed Nyngan at time 30. And our estimate in Narromine is 03, so we've got 30 minutes. Why not? Melbourne Centre, Juliet Kilo November, Cessna 172 is 3,600 out of Nyngan, requesting flight following.
Juliet Kilo November, Melbourne Centre, today, standby.
Shared cockpit, yeah, that's fun. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they did a shared cockpit for a Cessna 172 or some other trainer, so you could do essentially like instruct at a student flights? Old Spotter HD, the Mad Dog is quiet, and it's intentionally that way because the real plane is quiet as well. It's one of the quietest cockpits in the industry.
Juliet Kilo November, Squawk 3262.
Transport code 3262, Delta November. Yeah, the engines are way down the back. It's actually very quiet up in first class as well on a Mad Dog. Much quieter than 737. Nav mode set. So the Mad Dog's engines are much louder than the 737, but sitting in the Mad Dog up the front, especially in the first 6 rows of the aeroplane, it's you essentially can't hear the engines. All you can hear is air conditioning and recirc fans and stuff. Yeah. Well, all the turboprops are really loud. Even the so-called quiet version of the Dash 8, which is why they have the Q. The Q400 means quiet 400. Believe me, it's not quiet. It's louder than 7.3 by far. That said, it's quieter than the older version of the Dash 8. Dash 8 200 is even louder.
Juliet Kilo November, just advise you're not yet identified. Just confirm how many truck miles are you from Nyngan?
Juliet Kilo November is 51 truck miles from Nyngan, estimate time circuit 03.
Juliet Kilo November, not a problem, no reported high fire traffic.
Juliet Kilo November, thanks. Yeah, good old Avalon. Avalon's a fun place to go. Is the government planning to make an airport in the southeast suburbs of Melbourne? Well, probably not. Let's be realistic. There's talk about it, but there's always talk about airports during an election, and nothing ever happens about it. So I think by in 100 years' time, we probably won't have any airport in the southeast suburbs. Some people were talking about expanding either Taiab or Taradan or something like that. It seems like a stupid idea. The local council of Taiab are actually almost shutting down the airfield itself. I mean, it only caters to airplanes like this Cessna that we're flying, so I don't think they'll ever have 737s landing there, given that they hate Cessnas, but Cessnas are too big and loud. Do I hear any Metroliners coming into Essendon where I live? I hear all kinds of things, but the only aeroplane that I really notice when it goes overhead is the DC-3 every Saturday and Sunday from Air Nostalgia. So the DC-3 is distinctively different from all the other planes I hear. Everything else is essentially the same. Cessnas, King Airs, helicopters, Learjets even. They all kind of blend in. So any time I hear a Learjet go overhead, it's like, meh, whatever. Kind of passes into the normal sounds that I hear every day. But yeah, roughly at sunset every day, every weekend day. So on Saturdays and Sundays, sometime around 5 PM, we get the DC3 coming in, and that is, it's distinctive. It's something that I notice. It's like I'm sitting in my living room going, DC3 time. Detroit is saying that the aircraft coming in from Auckland to Tassie, if you've ever seen aeroplanes coming in from Auckland on the Star into runway 27, I think it's essentially like the last waypoint on the Star is about 40, 50 miles away, and it's a straight in direct approach without turning, runway 27. It's pretty amazing seeing the landing lights come on so far away and just watching them track in for like 5 minutes without turning. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the guys from Tasmania pulling in from the, was it Warren arrival? Which is pretty much directly over Narromine Warren. miles, 50. So pretty much an altitude where we can start descent at 10 miles, I think. Let's get our charts out for the next airport. Narromine. There is passenger facilities, you can call them on the telephone, not that we need it. Flight procedures, gliders common in the circuit direction separate from strips alongside the runway, so the gliders do right hand circuits and we do left hand circuits. We'll be pushing in for runway 29 if the left hand circuit makes sense, away from the gliders and it's over the field. We're coming in from that direction, so we can probably do a direct entry into downwind. Sounds good to me. I'm going to chuck in procedure, arrival, don't mind, approach, visual for 29, there we go. Load the approach but don't activate, it's just there for the pretty pictures on the map. Beautiful, that's that. Yeah, runway 27 to Perth. That's a brilliant one. There's a really weird place that most people don't go to spot, and I understand why, because I've been there once and it's not great. But on the other side of runway 27, there's some road next to the boarding kennels for dogs, and if you hang out there, it's on the outbound of runway 27. So you see the aeroplanes take off and go over the top of you. And of course the aeroplanes going off to Sydney will make their right hand turn. Airplanes going down to Tassie will make their left hand turn, and the airplanes going out to Perth just keep going straight. It's like, don't even need to turn left or right. It's just like take off and keep heading. Runway heading to Perth. That said, most of the guys going off to Adelaide use the same departure. So Adelaide and Perth in the same direction. How to get your camera past the fence line? I don't think you do. I think you go up to the fence line, put your camera on the fence and just shoot through the mesh. Not that I put cameras anywhere near the fence line. Other people do that. I don't really care too much. Yeah, the ram air turbine is, if both of your engines fail or you run out of fuel or whatever, then the ram air turbine will automatically open, so you don't need to press any buttons, it'll just do it by itself. And it basically spins in the wind, and it's a windmill. It's a, you know those wind turbines that they use for generating electricity in on Earth? It's the same thing. It's basically an electricity generator in your aeroplane. How does HD Melbourne Spotting do it? I've got no idea. Never seen him do it. If you want to find out, then go down and have a chat to him when he's out there. Or maybe go to Sydney for the city message board spotting group, which is, I think they have a dinner in February or March every year. The old YSSY forum. Just have a look and meet up with them. They have an entire weekend where they go spotting in summer. It's a pity that Melbourne spotters don't do that. It's probably because the Melbourne airport is a shit place to spot. Sorry. It just is. Sydney airport's much better to spot at than Melbourne. Yeah, HD, when you find the A2A Cessna 172, when you're taxiing, you really need to lean out your mixture. If you leave your mixture fully rich, it will foul. Especially if you're at a airport with a high density altitude. So to be hot, that'll foul your thing. So if you're at a very cold airport at sea level, then you might not foul your plugs at fully rich. But if it's anything more than 15 degrees Celsius, or if you're anything more than 500 feet above sea level, you really need to lean that out. $30 miles out. SR22, eh? They're nice airplanes. Almost like an Airbus, you got the old side stick on the left hand side there. Okay, well, yeah, I have flown the 777. I thought 2 weeks ago. Haven't flown it since I've had the system back, so we'll need to deploy that at some point. About 3 weeks ago, we flew the Boeing 777 on the Memphis over to Denver flight. So you can see that it's a wonderful thumbnail. If you go into my videos, look for the thumbnail. It's got the FedEx 777 flying over Denver Airport, and you've got Lucifer, the blue demon horse, rearing up in front of the airplane. Just, it's a feature of Denver Airport that's hilarious. In real life? No, I haven't flown a 777 in real life, and I probably should go to New Zealand to do that. New Zealand still sometimes flies their 777 over to Melbourne to Auckland. Next time I go to Auckland, I'll see if I can pick up a triple. Last time I tried to fly in a 767 and they gave me a 787 instead. It's the first time I've been disappointed with a 787. It's like, oh yeah, we'll go into 767. Sorry, the 767 has cancelled today. We'll be flying the 787. Most people are like, yay, we get amenities and cool screens. And I'm like, oh, I wanted my 76. Last time I flew a 767 was in 2006. I was meant to be flying a Airbus A320. No, it wasn't 2006, 2005. Or 4 even. It was 04. 2004 with Jetstar Airlines. I purchased a ticket to fly the very first Airbus A320 for Jetstar because they were going to be retiring the 717. So I was like, yeah, we're going to fly to Melbourne on this Avalon on the Airbus A320. First time that Jetstar is going to have an A320. So I booked the ticket, and we show up to the airport, the A320 hasn't arrived, still in its hangar, and they sent us on a 767 down to Melbourne, Tullamarine. Don't know, haven't flown a triple yet. Wow, you're a young'un, aren't you? You sure? Yeah, 2004. That was an interesting trip, that one. It was a complete disaster, is what I'd call it. Not just because of the airlines, but also what happened when I got to Melbourne. Essentially, 2 relationships ended during the trip, so that was hilarious. "21 miles, I think we might dump our pipeline." Melbourne Cessna, Juliet Kilo November, looking to cancel pipeline.
Juliet, Kilo November, sorry, second.
Juliet Kilo November is estimating Nyngan at time 03 and requested cancel flight following.
Juliet Kilo November, not a worry, flight following cancelled, just frequency change approved. Have a nice landing.
Please change approved and we'll squawk VFR. Juliet Kilo November. Yep, let's double check that frequency, 126.7. And yes it is, 126.7. $18 miles out, time 03 for the circuit, and runway is 29. Nyngan traffic, Juliet Kilo November, Cessna 172. Currently 18 miles to the west of Nyngan, 3,500. Estimating circuit time 03 will be positioning direct into the downwind runway 29R. Juliet Kilo November. Remember flying 787s. I haven't flown a 350 yet. That's another airplane I wouldn't mind trying out to compare it to the 78. I've flown plenty of 78s now. I've flown the Jetstar one at least 4 times, and I've flown the Air New Zealand 789 once on a ticket that said I was going to be on a 767, but never mind. Okay, we'll start that autopilot off, and it dumped us into the ground. Great. Melbourne taxiway Zulu, didn't know there was one. Let's double check. There's a Yankee. I can't see the Zulu. Victor's pretty cool, and there's an extension to Victor now. Whiskey, Sierra, Kilo. Not seeing a Zulu anyway. QPTR, Victor Uniform. There's extension to Victor, there's Juliet. The Yankees right there. Maybe it's going to be this one, the second high speed. So it doesn't exist yet, but I do see this little snub happening. You can see out of Yankee, there's this little snub that's going to parallel taxiway Golf. So I'm suspecting if there is a Zulu, it might end up being that. That'll be it. Yeah, it's the new high-speed exit. So it's you know how the high speed you kind of almost miss it every time if you land a little bit long. You can't actually make Golf. So they're putting a second high-speed exit there. So that'll be Zulu. You can see it on the chart, just starting to be formed out of Yankee. So yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully they update the scenery for us so we can actually use it, because that'll be really useful. That's the new taxiway. Look at 700 feet, so our circuit altitude is 1007. We need to be at 1700 by the time we're being with the runway 29. Push this over the runway 29 heading, which is there. I'm down to about 2,500. Yeah, that's taxiway Zulu by the looks of it. Very useful taxiway. Hopefully it won't take Orbix forever to release the new. That said, Orbix really need to update Brisbane as well, because there's an entirely new runway coming in a couple of months. I think it might be ready by either November this year or at least by July next year. Milk Run Monday tomorrow night is Brisbane to either Hamilton Island or to Mackay. So make your choice. No? What's no? New Pier Delta and Terminal 2. Alright, cool. Well, if you know what it is, why ask me what it is? That said, there is a new taxiway being built that's going to be a parallel to the high-speed exit off runway 34. It's in the chart, it doesn't have a name. I guarantee you that it'll be there by the November cycle. Neither have I. I don't have time to watch a video. Six miles out. Need to descend a little bit harder than we are. Gaming Pros wants Mackay. I don't want Mackay, I want the other one, because the other one's prettier. Always go to the prettiest airport that you can find. That's my opinion. Which is why we're going to Nyngan right now. Going to Narromine right now. It's a very pretty airport. Yeah, Port Macquarie is just a port. It's not an airport, it's just a port. Port Macquarie, not Airport Macquarie. There's the township of Nyngan. Sorry, I'm going to keep on doing that. Narromine. They both start with N, so it's going to conflate in my brain because I've never been to either of these places before. Narromine. Apart from gliding, I have no idea what they do in Narromine. Yeah, it's a big glider airfield. Most people at the airfield just do gliding. 4 miles out. Traffic, Narromine, July to November is entering downwind runway 29er at 1,700. We'll be entering Dubbo, but we won't be leaving Dubbo until Friday. So, yeah, a week in Dubbo. Out of Dubbo, we're going to go down to Bathurst, which will be fun. Do a couple of laps of the Mount Panorama. A bit of rally racing. Super 1000 or whatever you call it. Bit of the old supercars. Okay, turning in. There it is, found it. Very, very wide. Yep, the old Dubbo Zoo. Traffic, Narromine, July Kilo November is downwind runway 29er. Let's do a touch and go here. Standard approach, touch and go. Traffic, Narromine, July Kilo November, turning base runway 29 and touch and go. And flaps, overshot like a bastard. Actually have to go around on this one, I think. Flaps of 20, get it somewhat over the runway and then we'll do a go around. Traffic, Narromine, Juliet Kilo November final, runway 29er, and we are on the go around. Wanted to do touch and goes anyway, so there's our go around of the day. As you can see, we have a very pretty airfield down here. All freeware. Flaps are retracted, full speed. Temps and pressures are in the green. Under 1700. Oh, DJ Sean, how are you? Anything you missed as a go around? Power 2300. Traffic, Narromine, Juliet Kilo November is turning downwind, runway 29. Touch and go. Yeah, that's alright. Square off that downwind a little. Where's the wind coming from? Yeah, it's that direction. Alright. Don't square it off too much or we end up with the same problems we had last time. 11 knots from the right hand side, blowing us towards the runway. That's about right. Traffic, Narromine, Juliet Kilo November, turning base, runway 29, touch and go. Oh no, the flaps aren't working. We'll have to do a flapless approach. Okay, with a flapless approach we want to be a little bit flatter. We also need to be at 70 knots on the approach. Aviation 30, good evening, how are we doing? About 2 hours from now we'll be on the new vatsim beta for the voice codec, so if you want to stick around for that long, I'll be flying in the UK for that. Traffic, Narromine, Juliet Kilo November final, runway 29er, touch and go. Power coming down, no flaps to slow us down. Fuel pump is in. Mixer fully rich. Carrying a bit too much speed, there's not much you can do about that. Maybe a bit of slip. There it is, 70 knots. Get that slip out of there. speed. Yeah, that's right. And off we go. Walking thing, you just press Control Shift and E, and if you have prepared version 4 or higher, you can walk around in the avatar. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November is on the go, runway 29. We'll call again on down. And 700 feet. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November is downwind of runway 29. Touch and go. Okay, we are midfield. The engine just stopped. What do you do now? Alright, that speed's washing her away. Our best glide speed at this point is 70 knots. We're going to keep it. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November is glide approach, runway 29 at touch and go. Turning to the field. Okay, flaps coming out. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November, final runway 29. Turn too early. It's that crosswind, like 15 knots, blows you straight down. It's alright though, we would have made it. Off we go. Flaps coming up. They are up, 65 knots, off we go. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November, Oz on the go, runway 29. time enough. Traffic Narromine, Kilo November, downwind runway 29, touch again. After the engine, I gave it about 1500 RPM, I got the flaps up and then I pushed it all the way up. Normal. Leave the runway. Any other requests for glide approaches or anything like that? I think this will be our last approach. Drop the power about now. Traffic Narromine, Kilo November, returning base on runway 29 on touch again. Just a peek under the wing, there's the runway there. In the Piper Cherokee, you'd easily be able to see the runway. You wouldn't even need to lift your wing to see it. It's just right there as you look out. Loop the loop approach. I think we're a bit low on that one. I'll leave the flaps up. Looking for 65 knots on the glide. Traffic Narromine, Kilo November, final runway 29. We have a low glide speed. We're about to touch down before the runway. Power is required. Going around. Would have made it, but don't want to land before the runway. Traffic Narromine, Kilo November is on the go. Runway 29. I'd call that one fairly successful. Would have been okay to land, but we would have got touchdown inside the displaced threshold. I think we'll make a full stop for this one. Standard, normal, everyday approach with the flaps and an engine running. Traffic Narromine, Kilo November is downwind, runway 29, full stop. Right about there. Flap. Traffic Narromine, July Kilo November is base runway 29, full stop. Get it around this turn because there's that massive crosswind coming from the left now. Traffic Narromine, July Kilo November, final runway 29, full stop. There's all the flaps in. '65. Alright, Aviation 30, what we're going to do next is have a little bit of walk around Narromine, and then we'll get ourselves out towards Dubbo. Traffic Narromine, the Juliet Kilo November has vacated runway 29 onto runway 22. Now we're vacating runway 22 via the taxiway. Taxiway Charlie all the way at the end. Some random farming equipment over there. Cool. Juliet Kilo November has vacated all runways, traffic Narromine. Alright, so we're going to pull over to the terminal up there. Going to have a walk around, have a look at how good this scenery is, and then we'll hop back in Juliet Kilo November and head down to Dubbo, where we'll do a single approach, no touches and goes, and vacate their runway over there, and spend the rest of the week in Dubbo as far as this tour is concerned. After that, we're going to go off and start a different stream and test out the future of vatsim with the new voice codec. Now the guys over there were suggesting you can fly to any airport in the UK, literally. Which sounds to me like they're talking about CTAFs. Not sure I'll do a CTAF. I might do something like a Birmingham to somewhere, Southampton. Maybe Southampton to London or something along that line. In the Dash 8. The FLAi B-boys. Bunch of gliders parked over there. Remember, this is all freeware. You can download it from that link that I have in the description. Or Narromine Airport. Completely free. Narromine Aero Club. So, where do we want to park? Right in front of the Aero Club, I reckon. We are visiting, it's our first time here, so we'll go into the club. You just heard the engine burp a little bit. It was too lean, so I couldn't actually accelerate past 1,000 RPM. So I've got the mixture leaned quite a fair bit for the ground. It's quite happy at 1,000 RPM, it's just not happy much beyond that. Turn off some of these lights, landing light, taxi light, and the strobe is up. How's our fuel situation? Yeah, I wouldn't mind topping up the tanks a touch. We'll do it over here. No beers before flight, at least not for the pilot. We're beer free today. But if I have a nice rare cooked steak in there, I'll certainly be interested in that. Okay, parking brake is set. RPM to 1,000. Gonna drop our avionics one by one. Master switch is out. Okay. Switch is off. Let's go get some fuel. Doo-doo. Control Shift E gives us a man to walk around. One thing I do want to do is just hit Options, General, and we'll go into Realism, ignore avatar collision so we can walk around without colliding and getting stopped by the bits of the airplane that are meant to be there. We'll empty the airplane of the people. This dude's a bit short for me. I can't walk under the wing of a Cessna 172. I have to duck. Like, he's significantly shorter than me. It's about 5'9", I reckon. 5'9", 5'10". So yeah, we're going to come over here and chuck some fuel in the aeroplane. Or do you want to hit the club first? Club first or fuel first? Yeah, got the door open, so we'll do the fuel, then we'll do the club. So I guess you, let's see, what do we need to do? That's the bars that shows how much. I'm guessing this thing is where you swipe your credit card. Play around with that for a bit. Grab the hose and then stick it into the aeroplane. And we'll get that sorted. So left fuel tank first. We're going to just fill it up to about 4/5. Assume that's sorted. You do it with a ladder, which you kind of carry, a two-step step ladder. Pick it up, bring it over to the wing, stick it there, get up onto the wing. You don't have to flail around. Actually, it's in the front of the wing, isn't it? So mount from the front so you can stand on that spot there. And there's another little rung just halfway up the there it is. Cool. So I'll stand up here. Where is it? There it is. Cool. Right side. Fuel is complete. Put the hose back. Make sure the payment went through. And we'll head around the airfield. Gonna close that door so we don't leave that open. Maybe put a wheel chock in as well. No tie down, but at least put the wheel chocks in there. I'm sure someone's going to complain about us leaving the aeroplane there. What do you reckon? Push it back? Yeah, take those wheel chocks away. Not sure if we can do the pushback from here, but I'll try. Apparently not. That's okay. Jump back in. Went the wrong direction. Gonna miss it? Yeah, just gonna miss it. Parking brakes are set, and out we get. Right, so other people can use that fuel now, and we're parked on the grass. Take the pilot out of there. And just going to chuck the wheel chocks on it. We aren't going to put the tie downs on. Only going to be here a few minutes. Let's go landside through that tiny little gate, which looks barely secure enough. You could jump over this fence. Stick your hand over the fence and just unlock it from there. Gates to be closed at all times. Keep clear. No vehicles permitted beyond this point unless current authorization sticker is displayed. Okay. Now, is that something about dogs? I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, no dogs. Okay, fair enough. Don't bring your dog onto the airfield. Someone's brought a BMW to the airfield. I'm not sure which one's worse, dog or BM. Narromine ultra lights. That's cool. Oh, they've even got a gate. That's beautiful. Look at that. No need to walk through the gate. We'll just go through there. Not sure what these things are. Caravans? Camper vans? Something like that. That's a caravan. Is that a caravan park that you can like literally park in? I know Maria's like that. It's got a caravan, well, not a caravan park, but a campsite literally right next to the airport across the road. But if this is literally a campsite here, this is the closest I've seen. Yeah, it is. It's got to be. I'm going to research that, make sure it's the case, but that's a camper van, and there's a bunch of caravans up here. Looks like this is a campsite caravan park. They can just, you know, bring your Cessna, bring a tent in your Cessna, and then camp here overnight. That's a thing you could do. Barely even need to walk across the road. That's an NDB. I'm wondering if that's still there in real life or it's been decommissioned. Go for a bit of a run. Bunch of air conditioning units over there. Narromine Aero Club. Guessing to go in that tiny little door up the stairs, or there's a, oh, there we go, look at that. Disability accessibility ramp for wheelchairs and stuff. That's cool. I like it. Nice little club. Is that the main door over there, I'm assuming? There's a public toilet, so at least we know how to get there. Looks like a bit of picnic seating over here. Narromine Gliding Club, eh? They've got a fair amount of this accessibility ramps access. That's pretty cool. Authorised personnel only. I mean, that's a really difficult fence to get over. Look at that. It's almost waist height. Finding this relaxing. I'm enjoying this airport, which is freeware and you can download off the internet for free. The guy that made this is A1 plus, in my opinion. Narromine Gliding Club. He's got all the real signs there. Look at that little shed. Got the paint peeling off it. Park car plugging for the fences. Yep, that'd be hilarious. Bit of fence jumping. Okay, sports aircraft over here. Association of Australia. Sport Aircraft Association of Australia. That makes sense. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That's brilliant. Guarantee that's literally at the real airport as well. That whole thing. So yeah. Is that wings on a trailer? I think it is. That's a glider trailer, isn't it? So like pack your glider away and take it home. That's hilarious. Good stuff. Whiskey Quebec Yankee. Yeah, that's a glider trailer. You can pack your airplane away. Take the wings off the thing. Vatsim Park Hour stream. That's what we're essentially doing now. Airport walk around. Taking a look at Narromine. Someone's poor little 172 parked up on the hangar there. Street light with the wire going up the pole there. Yeah, I'm really impressed by this airport. Even the landside stuff is just on point. Beautiful little country airport. It's Narromine, man. No one goes here. This is like a dead airport. Get about, well, I guess the gliders are pretty popular at Narromine, but as far as actual GA aircraft coming here, I can't imagine there's heaps. Is that a motel? I think that's a motel. What's this sign say? Narromine Tourist Park and Motel. Right here at the airfield. And it's even got a picture of the airfield there. RV friendly park. It's got a phone number. That grass drive-through, sites, suites, big rig, spacious amenity block, laundry, camp kitchen, gas barbecues, a dumping point, pet friendly, motel, 11 ensuite rooms, fully equipped, self-catering kitchen, dining room, TV lounge, gas barbecue. Right on. You can fly straight into Narromine and you can just like stay in the motel. You don't even need a car. You can just walk back to your aeroplane. That's a pretty good airfield. And for freeware scenery that you chuck into, and it's pretty compatible with FTX version 3. Haven't really changed anything. Real contact details, yeah, pretty sure it is. I'm assuming that's just a photograph of the real thing. I'm assuming that's just a photograph of the real thing as well. It's a pretty good looking motel, to be honest. This is way better than Maria. Maria, you need to bring your own tent. Here, you just walk over the motel. Check in. You're done. Enjoy a night in a proper bed. Instead of sleeping on a sleeping bag on the ground. Yep. Musical Aviator gives Narromine Airport the top 10 endorsement for little aeroplane airports. Walking distance from the aeroplane to the motel. And to the fueling point. So you can fuel up your aeroplane, you can park your aeroplane on the grass and you can just walk there. That's brilliant. Nudist campground. No, there's not enough beach out here for a nudist campground. It's also really close to the airport, so I'm assuming that a lot of the people in the tents probably came here in a Cessna. You have to research Narromine a bit more. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. This is the first time I've really checked it. I just checked it to make sure all the scenery was working fine, and it was. I didn't really need to change anything. And here we are, in this wonderful little airport. And I'm guessing that's gliders packed away as well, with their wings taken off. There's a difficult fence to get through, but we don't need to use it. We can just go straight through the actual open gate for pedestrians over here. And here we are, back at Juliet Kilo November. We're off to Dubbo. We'll probably get there by about 10:15, 10:30. Then we'll have half an hour to get into the UK. So let's go ahead and open up the doors. And one quick trip around. Don't really need to check anything. What we do need to do is take our wheel chocks away. We'll do a fuel drain because we did refuel the aeroplane. Just make sure that nothing's settled in there like the wrong grade of fuel or anything. That looks okay to me. Up the top. Yep, that looks good to me. And the fuel check. I'm happy with that. Chocks are off. And in we get. Cool. Right, same trick to close the door again. There we go. Looking up ahead, there's no one around in the fueling area, so we'll go ahead and turn the engine on. Master switch is in. Clearly got a warm aeroplane, just going to crack it up. And we'll start. RPM, slinging it up. $1200 is set. Continue. We're looking for Dubbo. YS because it's in the Sydney area. Apparently. Not really. DU for Dubbo. Set. And there's the map. We have 17.5 miles. Traffic. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Someone's got X-Plane, clearly. Who's that? Oscar India Hotel. Is that any of you guys? I'm sure it's one of you guys. Come on, own up. Who's got the X-Plane? It could be the default scenery from version 1, because I am seeing some floating trees over there that are about the same level. That suggests to me that maybe yes, I am doing the AFB beta tonight. We need to get there in about an hour, so we don't have much time to move. We'll need to get to Dubbo. It's not a very far flight, it's only 15 miles away, so let's get moving. Traffic Narromine, Agility November Cessna 172 is taxiing out of the shell area for runway 29er, departing eastbound to Dubbo. Get that transponder on. Aviation 30 using FSX but don't have the scenery clearly, or you don't have FTX version 2. Probably the second of those. Anyway, you probably can't see me because I'm under your ground. Down the line of amazing glider airplanes here. Carry track on to Bravo. And just at the holding point, we'll just do a couple of before takeoff checks. Make sure the aeroplane's actually going to continue functioning as it flies. Parking brake is set. Let's come up to 15. Just going to make sure our window is closed. It is. (1700 RPM at full). Both mags functioning well. Drop it down. There's 50, looking for the, there we go. Well, takeoff seats, belts and doors are all closed. Flight controls are free, and I'll just check that it's all going well. Cool. Fuel selector is both. Mag check has been done. Pipes are up for the takeoff. Mixture fully rich. Fuel pump goes in. Landing lights, strobe lights, and we don't need the heat. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November, entering runway 29er, and we'll depart via the left-hand downwind. Juliet Kilo November. Entering the runway, we've got a good clear view of the approach. There's nothing on it. Okay, 1 hour from now we'll be flying with the new voice codec for the first time, on this channel at least. I do hope to see you guys there. We'll switch over the streams shortly. Here we go. $500 above. Traffic Narromine, Juliet Kilo November is turning downwind. We'll be continuing to climb up to 3,000 feet and departing the zone to the east. Juliet Kilo November. So there goes Narromine. I hope you did enjoy that. I certainly did. It's a surprisingly good airfield to fly into. Huge amounts of detail. Not very far to go out to Dubbo today. Dubbo is 17 miles away. Estimate showing 6:07, so about 10 minutes out. Other than that, looking at Dubbo charts, the CETA is 134.0. Dubbo Multicom is tuned. Turn direct to it. We'll be using runway 23 and vacating hopefully via Bravo. And elevation is 900 feet, so circuit altitude is just under 2,000. So climb up to 3,000, we've got 1,000 feet below us, maybe 3,500. No sooner you go up, you have to come back down again. Traffic, Dubbo, Juliet Kilo November, Cessna 172 is climbing 3,500, leaving Narromine, inbound to Dubbo. We'll be joining direct entry to downwind at runway 23 Dubbo, Juliet Kilo November. And our estimate for the circuit time is 07. There's 3,500. Just going to lean out the mixer ever so slightly. RPM 2400, looking at 115, 120 knots. That's pretty good. Not as good as the SR22 going blasting over us at 2,000 feet above. But pretty good nevertheless. 13 miles out. Traffic Dubbo, Juliet Kilo November is 13 miles to the west of the field, descending out of 3,500 to join the circuit at 2,000. Juliet Kilo November. And 2-3 it is. Right, so looking to go down to 2,000 feet. Let's push it down. Looking at 120 knots on the descent, that'd be great. Into the single digits, I suspect. Yes, almost 11 knots. One hour to the next stream. Just enough to get up, stretch, grab a drink of water, grab a drink of caffeine, and get it going. Itty bitty little bit of turbulence there. Alrighty, pushing in the mixture, so going towards rich now. $2,500 at 7 dB. Got the city in sight, but still looking for the field at 7 miles. Come up to about 2400 RPM and continue to set down. I think we need to adjust our altimeter to 1.7. There we are. Five miles from the field, squaring off that downwind. So what I'll do here, and a procedure approach for Dubbo, approach, and I'll do the visual approach runway to Nyngan. There it is. Load it up, go, back it out, and back. Runway 23 is out there. RPM. Clear that descent. Runway is in sight. Traffic Dubbo, Julie Killer November is on the dead side, crossing the field and on descent down to 2000. We'll call on downwind runway 23, and we do estimate the circuit time 06 November. There's the runway. Now it's been broadcasting. I can see a Qantas tail on the ground. Interesting. It's like Arden is there in his Dash 8. The old Q-Link. Been on the ground a while, I suspect. There's 2000. Helping to square off that downwind. Traffic, Dubbo, Julie Killer November is downwind, runway 23. No need to mention full stops or anything like that, because it's implied that we are having a full stop landing, given the fact that we haven't told them otherwise. Yeah, we're 1,000 feet above the field. When we made our broadcast, there's nothing in front of us there. Dubbo. Unlike Narromine, this airfield does actually have a airline service coming in, that being Qantas Link, in the Dash 8 Q400s and the 300s. Friend is parked on the grass right next to the runway. That's just about right there. Traffic Dubbo, Julie Killer November is turning base runway 23. Keep that turn all the way through. Traffic Dubbo, Jellicoe November, final runway 23. Glasgow to London, eh? And the Beechcraft. I'm taking the dash out and I'm thinking of coming out of Southampton to somewhere. Not quite sure yet. That's why we need to get on the ground ASAP and see where we're going tonight. Traffic Dubbo, Jellicoe Kilo November, final 23. Yeah, watching the movie Top Gun. Well, I feel the need for speed. Traffic Dubbo, Jelly Killer November has vacated the runway 23. There's the old Dash 8 Q400. We'll be flying one of those in a different livery in just about an hour. Very pretty, very, very pretty indeed. Again, this airfield is freeware. You can download it in the link below. Made by the same guy as Narromine, actually. We won't explore it right now, but we will explore it before we leave here on the next Friday or Sunday or whatever it'll be. Friday, I think. Okay, we'll park on the grass next to those other Cessnas. We're going to go all the way around, facing the same direction that Royal Flying Doctor Service plane is facing, the old King Air. And we'll park next to that blue aeroplane facing in the same direction. Before we do that, we need to turn off our strobes. Beacon's good, landing is off. And Aaron, yes I did. I went to bed at about midday and I woke up at about 7 PM. So I'm expecting to have tonight about a 3-hour sleep and then going off to work. And that'll be interesting, and then after work we're going to do the Milk Run Monday. and that'll be in the 717 from Brisbane over to Hamilton Island, and then we will collapse into bed on Monday night, probably with the biggest headache that I've ever had. Okay, coming to a stop. Wing clearance looks okay to me. And there we are. Got to raise the flaps apparently. Let's do that now. Brake is on. Get rid of these avionics. Avionics are off. I'm happy with that. And the airplane is stopped. Master switch is off. Beacon is off as well. Let's open the door and let's get out of the plane. So tie downs, wheel chocks, we also need to put in the control lock, empty the aeroplane and close the door. As if by magic. Ta-da! Airplane's tied down. Oh, that's a beautiful looking Dash 8 over there. And with that, at the home of the Royal Flying Doctor Service in New South Wales, we are done. Where's the route next from Dubbo? That's a good question. Out of Dubbo, we're going to go and head down to Bathurst. Do a couple of little laps of Bathurst, the mountain as they call it, or Mount Panorama, where they have a big racing track. That'll be on Friday, and then on Sunday I'm going to track up to Scone, and in the same trip we'll head down to Cessna. That'll be Sunday next week. So I guess from now till then, in about 45 minutes, we'll be departing out of somewhere in the UK over to somewhere else in the UK to test out this new voice speaker. And then on Monday we're doing Milk Run Monday. Friday we'll come out of Dubbo into Bathurst, and on Sunday next week we'll be out of Bathurst up to out to Scone, and then up to Cessnock. Yes, Rex does do Dubbo Bathurst to Sydney, so a Saab SF340 will be doing the same kind of route that we can do on this aeroplane. That said, I have been Musical Aviator. I'll see you guys on the next stream in about 45 minutes. Hope you have enjoyed. I certainly have. It's very wonderful airports, these Narromine and Dubbo. I've certainly enjoyed seeing those up close. Anyway, I've got to get busy to get a Dash 8. Yeah, we are doing a stop at Port Macquarie. First thing we need to do Sydney. So I'm thinking during a Milk Run Monday, standard, I'll be coming out of Cessnock, doing a Richmond, Bankstown and Camden, Wollongong and the Victor one, entering Sydney Harbour and then going up to Warnervale. So that's going to take at least 3 hours to do all of that, and that will be done in Hotel Tanger Mike. And then we'll continue on up towards Taree first. From Taree we hit Tamworth, then Armidale, and there's your Port Macquarie. Look at that. So probably about a month away, sometime in September we'll be up there. Bishoy wants Lake Macquarie. You know what? I could do Lake Macquarie. I'll need to add that. There it is there. So yeah, we'll do a stop at Lake Macquarie just after Warnervale. Why not? Yeah. Warnervale, Lake Macquarie, and then Maitland. Cool. Good catch. I'll add that to the list. Anyway, see you guys in a little while. I've been Musical Aviator. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.